You're listening to Taking Back Our History. So let's get right into it. What is your take on the state of the DJ game today? I know there's a lot of things out there that you may think is good, and there's a lot of things out there that you may not like. I mean, just tell me the truth. Like, what do you think about the state of what's going on today? What are your concerns about the DJ game?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you the positive first. The positive first is the invention of Serato. Serato tractor, and, you know, the other ones I'm not familiar. I use Serato myself.
Okay.
To me, it was a blessing. It was a blessing, but it's a curse in its own right.
Okay.
I don't have to carry my records anymore, which I used to do. Carry probably like about 3 or 4 crates just to do probably a 2-hour set at a club, because you never knew what you were going to play.
Right.
Now it's like you take the computer, you take the 2 Serato records, and you're set up and you're ready to go and you can rock a whole night, which to me is a blessing. You know, it kept me in the game this long. But there's the curse part. The curse part is anyone with a laptop now could just match the beat, and automatically they're a DJ and no one's paying dues.
Okay, I see. Now let me ask you something about the Serato. I'm not much of a scratcher or a turntablist. I do cut a little bit, but I'm not going to call myself like one of those turntablists like Jazzy Jeff, or, you know, some of those, what do they call those dudes, the X-Men?
Yeah.
But do you see it where Serato has made anybody become a cutter? Is it set up where it's funny because I was just at an event last week they had for a high school. They had a high school event, and I think Power 106 was there. But anyways, the DJ was using Serato, but he was cutting, and I was wondering, is that the same aspect
DJ
or art
DJ
form?
Blenz.
Is it an art form with the Serato as much as it was with vinyl?
You know what? It's a little easier to do. I mean, myself personally, I'm not a turntablist. I'm a mixer.
Right.
I always considered myself a mixer.
Okay.
The person who taught me was an old school 80s DJ from back in the day, the disco days.
Gotcha.
He taught me how to blend smoothly. You know, all that other stuff was just tricks and gimmicks, which I kind of regret not learning. I mean, I could cut a little bit, I could scratch a little bit, but I'm not like, you know, all them dudes on DMC, which I give them mad props, you know, because
Right.
they still, I think up until last year, they were still using straight vinyl on those Serato.
I got you.
But,
I got you.
as far as Serato helping them out, yeah, and I think it helps make it a little easier because of all the cue points. They don't have to remember the position of the needle back then, like how they used to do it. Take, for example, DJ Scribble. DJ Scribble used to be a badass DJ when he used to do the vinyl with the Run DMC Peter Piper.
Right.
When he used to do that set. But
Okay.
now it's like anyone could copy it with just using the cue point, just press the button. I've seen, not to mention any names, but I've seen some guy on YouTube pretty much doing the same set, but instead of scratching and like cutting it back and forth with the fader, he was just hitting the cue point. So, I mean, there's the curse right there, you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I've seen stuff like I've seen the reality show Masters of the Mix. I've seen competitions like with Qbert judging. I think with DJ Scratch was in the first series. They had Rich Medina. They had a few. They had what's his name? DJ Revolution. Yeah, he was in the competition. And that, to me, after seeing that, I mean, that was Serato, but it was actually, I mean, these guys are skilled. Like, they're really skilled. But I'm wondering, just on a general note, you know, when DJs are doing parties and when they're cutting or playing hip-hop records, is the Serato making them, you know, anybody that could just cut and DJ? Is it like lessening the art form as compared to actually having the vinyl? You know what I mean? That's something that I've always wondered, and that's why I asked you, because last week, after seeing this young kid DJ cut on the Serato, it seems to me like anybody could do this. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it still takes a certain amount of skill. Don't get me wrong, because I mean, you still have to know what you're doing. You still have to know the fader, and you know, you can't scratch. You know, you got to scratch on the class of beat or the vocal point. You know, that still takes skill. But I'm talking about as far as beat juggling.
Okay.
That, you know, that kind of takes away from the game a little bit.
Right. Now let's get into
I know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I know a couple of cats who could still beat juggle and really, really good. I mean, they amaze me sometimes when they're doing it. I'm like, wow, they're just doing it like they straight had the vinyl instead of using... Serato was just there to provide the music. It wasn't there for them to use the cue points.
Okay, I got you. Now, let's get into the promoters. I got a question for you regarding promoters. What is your honest opinion about the whole game as far as the clubs and the promoters? Is it a change as compared to what you were seeing when you first started in the early 90s and 92, 93 to now? Do you look at it as being a good thing? Do you look at it as being a bad thing? Do you feel things need to be improved? I mean, well, first off, tell me what you think about the promoters.
Well, I mean, let me put it this way. Before, back in the early 90s, early 2000s, people would go to the club to see the DJ. That's what it was out here in Hollywood. You would go see Vice. AM would play out here,
right.
Before he moved to Vegas.
Right.
You would go see Richard Vision, Tony B. You would go see all these guys, and you would go to the club to see them. Now it's like anyone's at the club, and you really don't care about who the DJ is now out here. It's more you're just going to go to be seen at a certain club because basically all the cats are playing the same songs. They're all playing the top 40, which is, don't get me wrong, I mean, I do it too, but I mean, they have no, they put no sense of style in it. It's pretty much you can hear the same set in any club you go to.
Okay. Now, these DJs that you're talking about, what made them a name? Like, what was the thing that brought people out to the clubs, to see them?
Oh, you just wanted to go see them back in the day because they were just like top of the line. Like, they were like, man, wow, I got to see Richard Vision, like, at the Palladium when they used to have the dome there. And that, to me, was an experience. It was just like, wow, like, just the way his skill level and music selection he would play. Like, he would play stuff that wasn't even released out here in L.A. He would get, like, imports from Europe.
Okay.
And he would play that out there.
What category of music was this?
Oh, this is like deep house back in the day, deep house, techno.
Okay. Would you consider hard house as well? Would that be something that was in the equation at that time?
Yeah, hard house as well. And then I remember, too, speaking of hard house, I mean, when Bad Boy Bill came out from Chicago and he came out to L.A., to Hollywood area, I had to get to that club. I mean, Bad Boy Bill, to me, is a legend.
Right. I got you. Yeah, I mean, it just definitely sounds like, I mean, I just know from my experiences in the early 90s, seeing the DJs, I'm from New York, and back there, basically, everything was based on recognition and name. It was based on, credibility. It was based on if you were, producer, a mixtape DJ, or just somebody creative. It was based on more DJs being creative, whereas now it's more about, like you were saying before, who can bring in the people.
Right.
That's what the promoters are more looking at. Is that pretty much something that you could say?
That's pretty much the same thing too that was back in the day. I mean, the promoter wanted to bring the top DJ into the club to get the people there. I mean, there's thousands of clubs out in LA. The LA County alone. I mean, and then don't forget Orange County, and then the IE and all that. I mean, there was just so many clubs, but you had to go to certain clubs for the certain DJ, and it's not like that now.
Yeah, I mean, and my problem with that, you know what I mean, people, I want you to hear this. My issue with that is, I know DJs that have been very successful in this. They have crowds. A lot of them are at the point where they're making $1,000 and up a night because of what they're doing or what they did in the clubs, bringing the people out, packing the places up. But they're not branded outside of being local. You know what I mean? Like, if you take somebody like DJ Clue was worldwide. He put out albums. He produced records. You know what I mean? And he's known. If you ask people in L.A. or other places about DJ Clue, or even, let's just say, Funk Master Flex. But a lot of these new DJs that are, supposedly they call themselves running things in the clubs, to me, they're not global. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, you're not global, and you're working yourself harder instead of working smarter. Would you agree with that?
I would totally agree with that 100%.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I know it's not an easy thing to make yourself a worldwide name, but at the same time, with the industry just jocking a lot of these DJs in the clubs, and I'm not even going to say industry because we got to ask ourselves what kind of industry is out there doing it, you know, but I guess you could say the promoters, you know, these promoters out there, they're just, you know, messing with all of these DJs that are not branded at that level of a Funk Master Flex or even a DJ AM. You know, when you can see a DJ AM on MTV or at the awards, and, you know, I mean, that's something major, but I'm just saying, you know, it's like to have that goal and to be able to get to that platform and to pursue that platform. I think that's something that the DJs should be doing, or should be at least trying to approach, you know what I mean?